Eden Live, where I am reading all of Eden by FREI live on Facebook and YouTube with the recorded clips and making their way to Instagram, IGTV. Once again, we're on a slightly unusual time, unusual for me anyway, because I normally do this on a Wednesday and a Monday, and today is a Thursday. But let that not worry you. I just at the moment have to find the time slots that I find available. And so let's continue with the Bournemouth and Boscombe Trilogy, which is called Revival. And within Revival, this is the 5th installment. As the day draws to a close, and the sun now lingers, mellowed by the dusky haze over the horizon, a while, down vaguely to the right before bidding the shore good night, I start feeling just a tad chilly, and I'm not alone. Much as there was no gong and no whistle, no starting gun and no fanfare to announce the beginning of the Bournemouth Boscombe nude beach stroll this midsummer Sunday, so there is no clarion call for people to go back into their clothes, or to summon them into the pubs and the bars, or back to their houses, should they have no friends and made none during the day, or simply shown an inclination to hang out into the evening. Instead, with the colder air breezing in from the sea, and the rays at their acuter angles subdued, you start to spot a jumper there and a cardigan here. The hats come off for a while, as they are no longer needed for shade and not yet against wind, and the t-shirts go on, and once you're wearing a top, there's really not much incentive now not to also wear something around your wriggly rump anymore. So on come the shorts gradually, and the jeans and the chinos, without anyone making a deal of it, big or small, and by, the beach, the seafront, the deck chairs, the benches, the plastic seats outside the beach huts, and all the promenade, they start to look normal again. Of course, I'm bound to find myself asking, what's normal? And it's not a facetious question, this here. A Sunday talking to people, all kinds of people, strolling and pausing, stopping here for a drink, there for a tea, meeting friends or my new friends and their friends who introduced me to theirs. My frame of reference for any such thing as normality has been blown wide open, and it hadn't exactly been closed narrow to begin with. There was a university lecturer from Leicester whose sister lives in the country with her husband and their 3 kids. They all were out and about, the kids mainly playing down by the water, the adults mainly standing around nursing pints. There was the former MP, whom I thought I recognised, but I didn't. I got her mixed up with somebody else, and from the wrong party. She was there with her boyfriend, and he had bumped into some mates who were actually kicking around a ball for a while. That was quite a sight, for I warrant these were not athletes. There was a bus driver and the obligatory cab driver too, and several nurses and teachers, some middling managers of one enterprise or another, and a sizable contingent of hipsters in every sense of the word. The overriding feel of the entire day was defined by nothing so much as by its extraordinary ordinariness. Perhaps it's the mindset, the easing into this ease, the deliberate nonchalance of letting it all hang out quite literally and not paying attention to any of it, all day long. I suspect that regular goers to nude beaches find none of this anywhere near as noteworthy as I do. I imagine that they've been saying so all along. For me, it was new, though not, hand on heart, entirely unexpected. I don't know what I expected, but planted in my mind from somewhere had been a vision of a perfectly normal day in the sun, with perfectly normal people doing perfectly normal things in the nude. And that's just exactly what it was, more or less. Of course, there was something of a garden party atmosphere, with all this milling and strolling and stopping for chats and pimses and fruit bowls and ubiquitous tea. Of course, it was an especially leisurely day, in an especially ordinary way. Is nudity a great leveller? Of course it is. Is it liberating? In some sense, no doubt. Is it practical? Absolutely not. Do I wish me more nude days in more towns of this world, just like this? I'm not even sure. One of the things that makes the Bournemouth and Boscombe nude beach stroll on the last June every year such a special occasion is perhaps that it is, after all, special. And it really helps being by the seaside, near a small town, or a couple of them to be precise. It helps being in England, maybe, I don't know. There is still, after all, an unruffled, no-nonsense, albeit quaintly eccentric friendliness in this country that, with all the madness in and around it, manages just about to keep it sane. At least so it feels, especially on a day like today. Or is it all just nostalgia? Am I hankering after a world that has changed beyond recognition, that simply no longer exists, and projecting upon what is there my idyll in a quirky distortion? Not from my experience today. The people I met and spoke with today are just exactly as I've always experienced them, only more so. Maybe that's what the nudity does, more than anything. It lays us bare, of course, that's pretty obvious. But does being bare make us more vulnerable? Certainly, in every way. Does being more vulnerable make us more honest? Very possibly. Does being more honest make us better humans? I like to think so. Honesty in all cases, in all circumstances, in all situations? Maybe not. Maybe a civilization needs a mask, parts of its face. Maybe a civilization needs to mask part of its face some of the time. Maybe some part of it even all of the time. Maybe in order for it to be civilized in the first place, it needs to be clothed in something or other. Skins, textiles, manners, etiquette, agreed upon forms of conduct, the compact of the exchange to make it bearable, pleasant even. I'd been taken all through the day with how civil everyone was, how unirritable, how forgiving. Perhaps that's what it does to us, being naked. Could it be that perhaps it encourages us, allows us even to forgive? That is the fifth installment of the second part of the 10th volume of the Eden miniature series, which is Eden by FREI, published as paperback and ebooks. You'll find the original Eden by FREI at edenbyfrei.net. And so I hope I'll find you there, you'll find me there, somehow we'll find each other. And until then, take care, love and let love. See you very soon. Bye-bye.